It's hey everybody, this is Bradley Bennett with Semantic Mastery. It is November 4th. This is Masterclass Week 35. We've got Adam and Marco with us. What's up, Adam?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And what's up, Marco?
Hey, what's up, man?
And we have to make the statement that Adam has gone beardless today, so avert your eyes if needed.
I'll just kind of rather do this.
Do they have those apps within Hangouts? Like, they can get the monocle. I wonder if they got
Hold on, let's see.
a beard app.
Hangout Toolbox? I don't think so. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we're playing around and wasting time, all right. Let me grab this screen, and we'll get right into it. All right. Here we go. Okay, guys. So this is week 35. Did I mess that up? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I should have changed that. Let me change that real quick and refresh. Voila. Week 35. This is Niche Affiliate week 2. We're going to cover some stuff today. Not a whole lot to cover. So we'll take some questions and stuff today too. I'm still working on potentially another affiliate niche as well that seems to have a lot of potential, but I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit maybe. But I want to recap the masterclass wind down. So we'll talk about that just a minute again. I just want to make sure that we mention that at the beginning of every masterclass session because I know not everybody makes it to the live sessions, and we want to make sure that those that do show up to the live sessions are aware of that we're going to be winding the masterclass down. The niche affiliate case study, the lead site stats. I want to show you guys the sites that I had built last week that I showed you to generate leads. We've got some initial stats coming in now because they're just over a week old, and I'm anxious to show you guys that stuff. The main promo site, I'm going to show you what's been done there, and then the sub niches. I'm going to share the keyword research that I've done for the model trains niche alone. There's a lot of tangent markets or sub niches within that whole model trains thing that goes into like other stuff, but I'm going to share the keyword research that I've done for this in case anybody else is interested in jumping in on it too, because there's a lot of wide open stuff here in my opinion. And then we'll get into Q&A. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I don't really have any other slides for the day. So the recap of the masterclass wind down, guys. For those of you that are unaware, I did mention that we're going to be closing the masterclass down. We don't have a hard date set on it yet because we'd like to follow through with this case study and possibly another case study beyond this one. But I just want to mention it because we are sunsetting the masterclass because it was never intended to be open-ended. It was supposed to be a stepping stone to bring you guys over to the mastermind, which is much more of a community instead of just training and lessons. It's a community of peers. So you'd be working, you guys would have access to us, the Semantic Mastery team, plus a lot of other really intelligent, really sharp mastermind members that are incredibly good at SEO as well. And there's kind of a whole community thing going on there. Plus we have the bi-weekly webinars every 2 weeks, which are Q&A. There's sometimes lessons, but oftentimes it's just advanced Q&A where we do like all kinds of get real in depth in this stuff. And those are 2-hour webinars every other week. Plus, when we close the masterclass down, we're going to keep the Wednesday slot on the weeks that we don't have mastermind. We're going to keep the same hour from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time for site audits 1 week, and then the following week or 2 weeks later, the following event time would be where we're going to be having interviews with other business professionals, other entrepreneurs, not necessarily in just the IM industry, but just across all other kinds of industries as well, so that we can just get some more insight in growing and building our businesses, guys. Doesn't always have to be SEO related. So I just wanted to give that. Plus, in case any of you that are unaware, that with the mastermind, not only do you get access to all of that, but you also have the access to all the archives, which we've been doing this for, God, a long time now. I don't even know how long. And all of
the
our
archives go back over a year.
Yeah, over a year. And all of our other products you get included as part of your membership. There's no additional charge, and if the product's under $300, it's included 100% free with your in your membership. And if it's over $300, you get a 30% discount Plus, all of our product releases and launches are always available to Mastermind members before they go out to the general public. So this was not a hard sell. I just want you guys to be aware of it because, again, the masterclass will be sunsetting. And if you guys like the training here, you should see what it's like in the Mastermind because it's many times better. So, all right. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the affiliate case study. I've got the lead site stats available here. I want to show you guys, starting with this one. Okay, so you guys know I built a bunch of sites using Lead Gadget, or the ATM as it's called, very similar to SERPshaker. Talked about this last week. If anybody's interested in either one of those, I'm sure Adam can drop the link. SERPshaker is a plugin that is awesome, and it will do pretty much the same thing that Lead Gadget does, except you have to build the website first. You have to build the shaker pages and all that within WordPress itself. With the Lead Gadget and the ATM, it builds the site and deploys the site on the server for you. It does everything entirely. Like it's just, in my opinion, it's faster, and if you're building a lot of sites, it's more efficient. Either one is good. There's a huge difference in price. SERPshaker is a one-time cost for the plugin, where Lead Gadget and the ATM requires a monthly subscription because it's an online application. So it depends on what your budget is, whether you'd be interested in using it or not. I'm sharing these details with you guys because it is a very effective tool. Again, either one of them are very effective for this type of thing, and especially with local intent. And as we discussed, and you know what, here, I'll show this screen and I'll also share the link. You see, I got too many damn tabs open, guys. Forgive me. Here, Adam, this is the URL to the keyword worksheet. Actually, you know what? I'll just post it on the event page because there's probably not a lot of questions anyways. Keyword worksheet. All right, here we go. All right, so in the keyword worksheet here, guys, these are the keywords that I had pulled just using Power Suggest. Like I said, pretty much that's the only tool I use anymore. That and Rank Spy, for the most part. I use Google Trends too. But when I started looking into this niche, and I kind of just stumbled onto this in case you guys didn't know, but I just was looking in ClickBank for stuff, and I stumbled across this niche. And I always have Power Suggest open anyways because I use it all the time, and I plug keywords in and hit search, and it's just because it very quickly will spit out a bunch of keywords, and I can see how much interest there is in a particular keyword very, very quickly, quicker than any other method I know of. And especially for these type of sites, the Lead Gadget or SERPshaker sites, if I see keywords that will return a lot of local modifiers, then I know I'm on to something, that I can probably just crush it with those type of sites, SERPshaker or Lead Gadget sites, right? Because of the way those sites are built, okay? And being able to target with location. And so when I put the first keyword in, which was model trains, and I just had it set to Google results, and I put model trains in, and I saw it started spitting out model trains with all these geographic modifiers, in addition to other stuff too. But that's when I instantly knew that there was potential there. And so that's, as soon as I see something like that, I know instantly I'm going, okay, ATM site build. I'm building a site with the ATM after targeting this keyword, okay? And so I did that with I've got, I think, 6 keywords that I wanted to be targeting for separate site builds. Model trains being number 1. Then I did the different train types, which are Hornby. Do I have that? Why do I not have that here? Oh, you know what? I didn't copy all of them, guys. I have another my actual workbook for this project, and all I did was copy the one sheet. But there are other tabs on my other workbook, and I'm not going to open that up because it's got sensitive stuff in there too. But these are the more generic keywords, or the general, like model trains. You can see Google, and then here's YouTube, because I usually do that within Power Suggest. If I think I'm going to be doing YouTube campaigns, then I'll separate them and then do a separate search on YouTube and keep them separate. That way I'm not crossing up my search terms, and I know which ones to target on which platform, okay? But you guys can see that these were some of the keywords that were returned with the general stuff, and then there was this is weird, I've got Lionel one in here, but I don't know, I got my sheet screwed up here. But there was also Hornby, Bachman, Lionel. Those were the three train manufacturers that came up consistently in the Power Suggest results. So I wanted to build a site for each of those, plus the model trains, which is just the very high level term. So that's a fourth site. Then I wanted to do N scale, O scale, and G scale, I think it is. Let's see, it's N scale, or HO, N, and G scale trains. Those are the three that I wanted to build between last week and this week, and I didn't get to it. And in part because I'm researching another niche right now that looks to be promising, but again, I'm not ready to reel that yet. I will in due time. But so I didn't get to spend as much time on this project as I wanted to, but that's okay because the ones that I've got are going to show a pretty good indication of how much traction we can get in this particular niche. Now, that said, guys, these sites, remember, aren't even 2 weeks old yet. And a lot of these types of sites, when I build them, I'm building 30,000 post sites. Each one of these sites has 30,000 posts, 30,212 posts, I think it is, to be exact. And so it takes time for them to get indexed. And even once they get indexed, it takes time for them to start gaining traction. And so it generally can take as many as, I've had sites that take 4 to 6 weeks to start really to really show what kind of traffic they're going to generate on a consistent basis. So usually in the first couple weeks, it takes some time for them to start gaining traction. But I have a few of these sites, guys, that I've got one in particular that generates 1,800 clicks a month. That's 60 clicks per day, okay, in a very specific industry, and that's huge, okay. And so just wanted you guys to be aware that these are very, very young sites. They're very immature sites there, so they haven't had a chance to season entirely yet. So we're not going to see great results yet, but over the next several weeks we should. Okay, and I'm going to continue to build out some more of them targeting the remaining keywords when I get time. Fortunately, I didn't have time in the last week to do those other three. That said, also, just so you guys know, we're going to be off not next week, but the following week. We're not going to have a masterclass session because we will be out of town, all of us, to be meeting in person. So that will give these sites a little bit of an additional week to season as well. So when we come back from that in 3 weeks from today, we should see significant results across these, hopefully. That's the goal. So this is the first one that I built, which was buy.hobbytrains.org. And you can see right here that it's showing 27,000 URLs, almost 20,000, 27,500 URLs indexed is what it's showing here. And if we look at the search analytics, we can see that within the last 30 days, because that's all it's looking at, it's received 8 clicks. That's not huge, guys, but remember this site was just built last week. It's not even 2 weeks old. Okay, so you can see it wasn't even given its first impression, which is, look, it actually got a click before an impression. I had 2 impressions given, and that was probably my click, to be honest with you. But you can see that the first impression wasn't even given until, looks like, 10/27. So that was a week ago, essentially a week ago. All right, so within the last 7 days, we've had about 8 clicks. And take a look at, you guys can see with the impressions, as the impressions go up, so do the clicks, and that's typical. Okay, so usually, over the course of the next couple weeks, we should see this graph as the impressions continue to rise, so should the clicks. All right, what's interesting, what I like doing about using Google Search Console, this is the only way to track these sites, in my opinions, guys. You can't track keywords using traditional keyword trackers because there's just too many of them. I mean, unless you've got like a $5,000 a month budget for keyword tracking tools, it's pretty much not feasible. It's not possible to use normal traditional keyword tracking on these sites. So that's why I use search analytics, because it's free. And Google tells you guys these are the queries in which the site was given impressions for. If we set up the position over here, you'll see which position it was served. This page was served in, or the page that was served when this search query was entered. Okay, so I could sort by position if I wanted, and you can see, I don't even know what the hell Medell Leburn is, but for whatever reason, Google ranked or served that a page on the site for that keyword phrase in position number 3 at the time. Okay, so that's one thing I like to do, because I use this as discovery, guys. In other words, like, there's only 15. It's only showing 15 impressions right now, anyways, or 15 keywords. It was only given impressions for 15 keywords. But what I like to use these for, especially with these big sites, guys, is it will show me search queries that the site gets served for, or given an impression for that I may not have ever seen anywhere else. Like, in other words, I might not have seen in my keyword research any of the keywords or many of the keywords that show up, which means there are opportunities there that are missed. So a lot of the times when I start going after a particular industry or a niche with these type of sites, then what I'll do is I'll build the first 1 or 2 sites and let it season for 30 days, to, 4 to 6 weeks, and then come back in and do my research on the Search Console, the search analytics, and see what kind of keywords come up that I can find as additional golden opportunities, and then build sites out targeting that specific keyword phrase that I wouldn't have found anywhere else, if that makes sense. And so, especially when you're looking with search queries with local intent, you can find patterns. Patterns will emerge from the data that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else without having a big site like this to do the discovery for you. Okay, and I found some really interesting patterns in some of these big sites for terms that I would have never imagined had local intent. So, anyways, just wanted to show you something else. Is if we go over to pages. Pages, if you click on pages, then it'll show you which actual pages were the ones that received clicks. Okay, and so if you sort by position, now this is, again, this site's only about 7 days old, and you can see what's this position right there is the green. But you can see that I've got, look, I don't know, what about maybe 8 pages on eight posts that are actually ranked in position number 1, and then I've got another, I don't know, 8 or 10 that are in number 2, 8 or another, 8 or so or 10 in position number 3. So you can start to identify. This is how, and guys, we have talked about this before. If anybody that's looked at the SERP Shaker demo webinar that we did, or with Hangout Millionaire, guys, look, I've said this for months that because I've been doing this for, I don't know, over a year now, using these type of sites to do my discovery, to find out where the low-hanging fruit is in a particular industry or in certain areas with different keywords. Because what I'm saying is I can either use a SERP Shaker site, which is what I originally started doing with SERP Shaker before the ATM came along. I only graduated to the ATM because it's easier and it's faster. It's more efficient, in my opinion. They both accomplish the same thing. But also Hangout Millionaire. Remember, guys, we did this exact same process in the local case study, where I used Hangout Millionaire because I thought that was more appropriate for at that time in the masterclass series. We progressed to this point now where we are today, but at the time I thought it was more appropriate to talk about using videos to identify keywords that we could rank for easily, and that's how we determined which area and which keywords we were going to cover in the masterclass, the local case study. If you guys remember, I used Hangout Millionaire, and I did like 44 videos over the course of like 5 or 6 days, testing a whole bunch of different keyword combinations with city combinations to identify the home remodeling keyword set within Gainesville. And you guys see, I was a highly successful campaign that I was able to do, and I used Hangout Millionaire to accomplish the same thing that we can do with SERP Shaker or Lead Gadget, ATM sites. Does that make sense?
Yeah, real quick, I wanted to jump in here too. Phil was asking, have you shared how you create a model type site with SERP Shaker? I'm familiar with using it for city, states, etc. And Phil, if you're talking about models as far as like the model train stuff, it's what he's going to do, but it is going to have local modifiers, just to clear that up.
Yeah, that's right. Adam's exactly right. All it was the exact same type of site that you're used to building. I just did model trains with the geographic modifier. So in other words, we can't look at the site because I've got the overlay on it. So all it's going to do is display the main affiliate site now for every poster page, okay? Unless I log into the back end of it and disable it. So you won't be able to see it. But all I did was targeted model trains Atlanta, Georgia, model trains Fairfax, VA, model trains Miami, Florida. That's it. So it's still targeting just one keyword, but it's targeting 30,000 cities. That same keyword plus 30,000 cities. Where the diversity comes in, where it starts to rank for other phrases other than just that that main keyword phrase, is because of the tags and also the content on the page, obviously. Okay, so for example, like you could see Elizabethtown scale repair. I'm assuming that means scale model repair. I'm not sure, but that is not something that I specifically optimized for, but yet my site was still given an impression for that keyword phrase because Elizabethtown is on the site somewhere. There's a post on there, plus in the tags itself. So like for example, on a site build, I'll do like 12 to 15 tags. I usually don't like to do more than 12 tags. Guys, by the way, what I'm talking about here only applies to these types of sites. Do not do this for typical money sites. Okay, do not put 12 tags in a post for a typical money site. Don't do it. It's spammy. Just don't do it. These sites play by a different set of rules because of the sheer size of them. Okay, so with these type of sites, like I said, I will typically target one keyword, but I will target 30,000 cities with that one keyword. If I'm doing a national site build, if I'm doing a state site build or a regional site build, then obviously it changes a bit. But for a typical national site build, it's just going to be targeting one main keyword times 30,000 cities. And then I'll use tags to add relevancy. And where do I generate my tags from? Anybody? I know, but right here. All my tags are generated right here, guys. So I'm adding the tags to the page, and the tags display at the bottom of the post, and it also generates a tag page for each one of those tags. And so I use the tag, I pull tags right from Power Suggest. So when you're looking at this right here, this is where I get all my tags from. So for example, if I've got 600 keywords in a column, then I'll generate out. What I'll do is I'll just take my phone out, my calculator, and I'll say 600 divided by 11. And that'll give me a number, and then I just go down to that row. For example, like let's just say, what is 600 divided by 11? Let me open up my calculator, and I'll do it real quick.
Like roughly 50.
600 divided by 11 equals 54.5. So what I would do is let's just say that this was one column. In fact, let's just copy this column. We'll add a new row. And let's just say there was 600 keywords in this column. What I do is I'll go through here and I'll go down, what I say, 54 and a half. So I'll go down to like 55 and I'll insert one above. Then I'll do another 54 or 55 above that. So that would put us at like what, 111, something like that. And it doesn't have to be exact, guys. I just ballpark it. Okay, so another 54 times that would be like what, 167-ish, right? So put another one here. And then what I'll do is I'll grab each one of those groups like this. Let me grab it real quick. Copy it, and then I go over to a tool called getspintax.com. It's right here, getspintax.com. I paste it in here. I click spin, and then it creates spun text here, so I Control-A it. And oops, I don't even need to do that because I can just hit the copy button, and then if I open up a notepad file and I paste it in here, that's where my tags come from, right? So that's one tag right there. Does that make sense? It's essentially got 55 variations in spin brackets so that when the post is generated, it's going to pull one of these keywords out as one of the tags, one of the 12. So then I would put my geographic modifier after it, which is always done in shortcode. So let's just say it was city, state, short, something like that, right? Then I would do comma, and that would start my next tag. My next tag group would be another set of spin tags with the next group that came out of here. Does that make sense? So it's making each one of the posts unique because it's not, look, in the training for Lead Gadget, you know, those guys that developed it, they use just like 4 or 5 tags or a handful of tags, and all that changes is the geographic modifier. In other words, it's the same set of tags for every single post on all 30,000 posts. But the tag itself changes because it's got a different geographic modifier. In other words, if it was model train, if this was the tag, model trains was the main tag, model trains, it would have model trains Atlanta, Georgia, model trains Miami, Florida, model trains Houston, Texas. That would be what made each tag unique, was the geographic modifier. I don't like to do that because I like to have a little bit more diversity and randomness to everything, so that's why I always build out my tag sets like this, so that every single page, this is going to append the geographic modifier to the end of the tag anyways. It's just going to pull one at random out of this group of 54, along with the other 12, if I had a total of 12 sets here. Does that make sense? So it would be the output would be 12 tags with the geographic modifier, but it would be one random pulled out of a set of 54 or 55 for each of the 12, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. Hopefully, if you know, it's only because I've built so many of these sites. But anyways, I want to
Yeah, I
move
mean
on.
the basic idea is just being that you're spinning this. It's like a inner spin type of situation.
That's correct.
Yep.
That's correct. And so again, unfortunately, unless I pause the screen and log into one of those, you know what? Let me do that real quick. Let me pause the screen and actually log into one of those sites because, excuse me, I want to show you guys the back end of it.
Hey Bradley, while you're doing that, and just to
Okay.
be totally transparent and full disclosure, the VA that's training for RYS done for you services was trained doing model trains as a hobby,
Oh, cool.
right? And so he's still training, and on his third day, which was what 4 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
some of the stuff that he did, which is garbage. I mean, because he's new, not because he isn't good. He's great, but it's already ranking second page, some bottom of the first page.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. You meant because he's learning how to build the RYS stacks, but you
Yeah,
tasked him to do it with the hobby trains as the keyword.
right.
Gotcha.
So as he was going to through the training and building out the different files, folders, and the sites.google.com. As he was doing and hitting it, and the keywords that I gave him to target, they were hitting second page, bottom of first page. He got the sites.google.com indexed already, and it's already ranking second page.
Nice.
So guys, I mean, this is wide open. The hobby, the hobby niche, whatever you decide to go after, I think it's just wide open.
Yeah.
Not only the way you're doing it, local,
Yeah.
but I went broad. I went the other way because it's RYS.
Yeah. And that's why I shared this sheet, because there's so many, and this isn't a complete sheet, guys. I'll try to remember to update it when we're done to have include the Hornby trains, Bachman trains, and Lionel trains keywords as well. But I mean, there's a lot of keywords here, guys. So I mean, you can get very specific with targeting down to specific long tail phrases that would have literally no competition. And so that's why I thought it was, this would be a great opportunity to share these type of site builds. Because remember, that's part of what, guys, I want to, that was the purpose of the whole masterclass, was to share with you guys things that we do to generate money. And this is one of them. This is one of the methods. Yes, it requires spending money on tools, but doesn't everything we do? You know what I mean? So, and this is something that is a big part of my business, so I figured it was worth sharing with you guys. So that said, let's jump back over here. I logged into the site, the first one, which I was showing you the Search Console data from here. This is buyhobbytrains.org. Let's run through the other three real quick, and then we'll jump into the back end of that. This one was the one that I built second. This was hornby.hobbytrains.org. This one is showing 34,500 URLs indexed. It's only got 2 clicks though in the last 7 days or so, because again, this is showing a range of 30 days, guys, but the site's, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 days old, and that's it. If we look at impressions, you'll see, look, as impressions start to go up, we should start seeing the clicks go up too. That's typical. That's if the site is performing well. A lot of these times, these types of sites, guys, will be duds. It's literally a numbers game. You just pump out more sites. Some will be successful. Many of them will not be. The way you can determine if a site is successful or not is if you see, as the impression indicator, the impressions bar goes up, so does the clicks. It doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 ratio, but you'll see, as long as the impressions are going up and you're getting clicks, it means the site is ranking well. If you see the impressions going up, but and you have to give it some time. You don't want to just analyze it after a week and say, oh, well, this is a dud, and then delete it. You don't want to do that. You want to let them season, like I talked about. But if you see the impressions going up and you don't see the clicks going up with the impressions over a period of a few weeks, then it's because the site is not performing well. And you can go ahead and delete it and free up space on your server if you have a dedicated server for it, which I recommend if you're doing a lot of this stuff. Okay. So anyways, this is a brand new site. Like I said, you can see the impressions are starting to go up, which means it's being indexed well. We'll take a look at some of the indexing in just a moment. This is the next one that I did, which was bachman.trainenthusiast.net. I don't like to put too many of the same exact type of sites on a particular domain, only because I just like to spread them out across a couple domains. But this one's already got 5 clicks, and this one is an actual newer site. If we go take a look at the impressions, you'll see the impressions and the clicks. You see how they correlate? That's a good sign. Hopefully, again, this is too young to tell. I can't make any assumptions on this little amount of data yet, but it looks like this one's going to perform well. Again, I mean, that's just a shot in the dark because it's still too young, but this is a pretty good sign for this site only being about 8 or 9 days old. Okay, the first impression was given the day before Halloween, October 30th. So it's not even 7 days old, and it's already got 5 clicks. All right, this one is the last one. This one I actually just submitted to Webmaster Tools today. I had completed this site last week because we actually were in the back end of this site during a master class last week. This is the one I showed you how to set up the WP Zero Bounce plugin and stuff on. But I just forgot to actually complete the build, which would be to submit to Search Console and everything, and I just did that today. So it's not going to show any analytics because it's only been submitted just today. But let's jump over here for a minute, and let's take a look at the first one that we built, which was buy. So let's go to site : we'll do buy.hobbytrains.org, and it's showing 81,000 indexed results. You guys see that? So there's 80. So there's always a discrepancy between what is shown. If we go to Google Index, let's see if it even shows. This is for buyhobbytrains.org. This is showing in here. There's always the Webmaster Tools is delayed. It's always lagging. It's always behind real-time data that the Google search results will show you. So this is showing 40,000 posts indexed, but if we do a site : operator, you'll see that we've actually got 81,000 posts. Why is that, guys? If we've only got 30,000 posts, why would there be 80,000 indexed pages? Because we have the tag pages set to index. I don't recommend you do that for normal type sites unless you know what you're doing with tags. We discussed this in the mastermind using canonicals. Again, that's a more of an advanced topic, but for these type of sites, like I said, it's a completely different set of rules. So like if we click 5 pages back, we should see, like for example, this is a tag page right here that's indexed. Model trains, O-scale buildings, Herculaneum, Missouri. Okay? That's a tag. See, that's to answer the question that was asked earlier. That's where I get the other keywords to rank, guys, because this buyhobbytrains.org was only targeting the main focus keyword was model trains plus city for all 30,000 cities. However, because of what I just showed you guys with how I set up tags, now I've got all those keywords that were pulled out of PowerSuggest showing up on posts all across the site, so that my tag pages, this being one of them, model trains, O-scale buildings, that was pulled in through Google Suggest, and then all I did was add the geographic modifier, and so now I've got a tag page ranking for that term. Does that make sense? So that's how you get all those long tail phrases. If you can only target one site or one keyword per site, then you'd be very limited, but that's where the tag pages come in. That's how you actually target multiple keywords per site build. Okay? All right, so that said, let me just go into here real quick. Now, for example, if we click through, right now I've got the WP overlayer set on this. So like, let's just click through to this tag page. It's not going to actually show the SERPShaker site, because, or excuse me, the ATM site build, because I've got this, which is hobbytrains.org, overlaid on top of this. Okay?
It's your lucky day. This is free.
That's Todd Gross. You all know Todd Gross.
No way.
Yeah, this is what I was going to show you guys. I got the opt-in on here now too, because, by the way, you guys just saw I clicked in through the SERPs, right? I had just done it. I just clicked the search result, and it came over to this page. Well, this is an exit pop that I have set up through ClickFunnels on this site, so that anybody that visits the site that doesn't click on one of the affiliate links and go buy a product, I'm hoping to get them on an email list. Why? So I can follow up with them and send them affiliate offers about model trains, hobby trains, right? Because most of your sales are actually made in the follow-up, not on the initial site visit. So obviously I want to try to get them on a list if they're not going to buy right away. So that's what this is. And this was done with ClickFunnels, guys.
Yeah, I'm just curious, is this like a PLR or something?
Yeah, that's what, in fact, that's not it. Yeah, if you guys were interested, you could always opt into the list. There's only one follow-up email right now, and that's the email for the download link. Oh yeah, I've got the actual ebook here. I've got the link in my notes. This is the ebook. It was just a PLR book, guys. All I did was I downloaded a PLR book, and then edited it slightly, and then uploaded it to Amazon, and now that's the download link whenever somebody opts in. So here is the link, Adam, if you want to drop it.
Cool. And
this is the actual cheese. That's what Hernan calls cheese. And this is it. It was just a PLR book, guys. It's nothing spectacular, but it's just something to say, hey, if you want to opt into the list, we'll send you this ebook, and then that gets them on the list, in which case I could follow up emails, right? Send emails.
Looks like we're having some technical difficulties. One sec.
Technical difficulties with what?
Yeah, it looks like everybody's saying that they can't see you. I'm refreshing the page, and let's see if it plays.
What's the problem? Where is it not? Oh, you mean the screen?
Yeah, now it looks like it's working. Or was it maybe because you switched over to something?
No, it's probably the ClickPop that for the ClickFunnels ClickPop thing that screwed it up. Can you guys see okay? Because it looks like it's just zeroing in on my taskbar or something. Is that what you guys are seeing?
Yeah, if you guys, somebody can say if they can see now.
Okay. Well, just mention it. Are you seeing the whole screen, Adam?
Yeah, I've got your entire desktop. So we'll just keep going. Worst case scenario, people have to watch it on record.
I wonder if on the live feed on the events page, though, what they're seeing. If you want to click over and take a look at that.
Yeah, I'm looking, and it's behind, so we'll just keep going.
Well, guys, if you're not seeing it, just go visit buy.hobbytrains.org, or actually just hobbytrains.org if you want to see the ClickPop. Then whenever you go to exit your cursor out of the screen, you'll see the opt-in. And all the opt-in is, let me go ahead and shut this, is just that PDF book here. Okay. All right, so that said, by the way, so you guys saw the ClickPop, right, which is the exit pop for the opt-in. But remember, I clicked in from the SERPs, right? And so remember I talked about last week the WP0 bounce. And you could send people to Amazon, which is against their terms of service to do that. So you can do that. I know a lot of people building SERP Shaker sites and ATM sites that do that. Or you can send them when they click back to an opt-in page, or the back button. I'm going to give you an example here. Or you can send them to the affiliate offer page, right? So you guys saw that I clicked in from the SERPs. I haven't done anything else on this site yet. If I go over here and I click the back button, watch what happens. It sends me to the one of the affiliate pages. I've got 2 different affiliate offers that are in rotation. So when somebody clicks the back button, it'll go to this offer or to one of the other offer. So that cookies them, right? That cookied them through my link, and if they end up purchasing, then I'll get the credit for it. And the same works for Amazon, but like Kendrick, I think it was pointed out, it is against the terms of service at Amazon's, and they will terminate your account if they find out you're doing it. Although I know a lot of people doing that.
Hey Bradley, real quick. It appears that the video is stalled. It's not playing on the site or on the event page, so we can keep going, but it's definitely down for me. Yeah, refresh the page. It's down. So we can. I said we'd just keep going and at least cover the content, but I don't know if we want to try to restart a Hangout or what do we want to do.
No, it should still be recorded.
It happened during a webinar that I was in on Monday, and they just kept going, and it was fine on the replay.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep running through it. We've only got a few more minutes, and then.
Sounds good. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. I wonder what happened. That's interesting. I'd be afraid to try to refresh it because it would drop the feed. So, all right, just let everybody know on the events page then that we're just going to keep on rolling and they can catch the replay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so that was it, guys. I just wanted to show you, you know, how the overlay works and the WP0 bounce. If somebody clicks the back button, it will take them back to the wherever I direct them to. So that again, that's a good opportunity to drive people to an opt-in page, for example, or to the affiliate offer page, or something where you can try to get either a transaction out of them or collect an email address, right? All right. All right. So what was next? Because I'm kind of got off track. Let's see. Okay, so that was the opt-in. Yeah, again, the opt-in was just done with ClickFunnels. There are plugins that will do that kind of thing too. I tried to use the ClickPop through ClickFunnels for the growth training site, if you guys remember, but it was screwing up the autoplay on the videos. But since this particular website doesn't have that, it's not necessary. I mean, it works just fine. And so again, the only thing I don't like about it is there's no cookie. What I mean by that is if you visit this and then you exit out of it and then you come back, it will pop on you again. I think it even pops on every page, which can be annoying. But honestly, the whole point of this site is either to collect an email or to get somebody to go to the affiliate offer anyways. So I really don't care. If this was a money site, I'd probably use a different type of setup, if that makes sense. Like, you know, if I was trying to, other than just an affiliate site. Okay. All right. I did want to also, let me turn off WP Overlayer for a minute because I want to make sure that they see like tag pages and stuff. All right, so let's do this again. Let's go back to Google. i.hobbytrains.org. All right, so we'll come back over here and we'll just click on one of these pages. Like these are category pages. Here's another tag page here. Model Trains Pictures, Mangham, LA, which I guess is Louisiana, I think. We'll open that up. This is what the normal pages look like. The normal posts and pages, guys. And this is what I wanted to show was the tags down here. Okay? So these are the tags that you see, and this is how I get the sites to show up for these long, because each one of these creates its own page, right? And that's why, I mean, again, I don't recommend, it's duplicate content, there's no question. It's because it's the same content on this tag page as it would be the actual page here. If we open this link in the new tab, you'll see these two pages are identical. The only thing difference is that area right up here. That's it. They're identical. So this is not something that I recommend that you do on any type of regular site unless you're using canonicals. But for this, it just works out because this is how we're able to get this page here to rank for all of these different types of keywords here. Okay? Because each one of those has the title tag targeting that tag phrase itself. In other words, like if we look at top model train companies, Magnum LA, we click on that, you'll see that is what the title tag is created from that. So that's how we get them to rank, because that's the most important part as far as out of the four. We've talked about that many times too, right? SEO title, URL, page title, and meta description. SEO title being the most important. Well, that's the exact match keyword in the SEO title. That's generated through the tag page. All right? Okay. Let's move on.
Good news, the feed appears to be up. So.
Okay, so people are back watching live?
Yep.
Hopefully it wasn't like in the recording screwed up too.
Yeah, well, we'll find out shortly.
I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now, so. All right, so guys, that was what I wanted to share with that. If you guys have any questions, start asking them now because we're going to get to those in just a moment about anything specifically related to this, hopefully, but we can talk about anything. We're going to have a few extra minutes. If you guys want to go through these, and again, there are some others in here that I need to add, a couple more columns from my main workbook. I'll share. You guys can have access to this, but there's a lot of opportunity in this niche, guys. And you know, just so you know, there's a lot of other related type niches to model trains that you can get into that are also, I think, have a lot of opportunity too. If you just start doing some keyword research on your own, you should be able to discover some of those tangent niches and start optimizing for those, because I do think there's a lot of opportunity. In fact, like I said, with just showing, you know, some pretty decent results here for sites that are really, really young, very immature sites. They haven't seasoned yet. Let's go back to the dashboard. You can imagine that these sites over the next several weeks should start performing very well. And I wanted to give you guys an example very briefly. This is one of the pay-per-call sites that I've got set up for Ring Partner. And I know a lot of you said that you wanted to see Ring Partner site build too. I don't know that we're going to get to that because, like I said, there's another affiliate opportunity that I'm researching right now that I might want to carry on with you guys, possibly. I'm not sure yet, over in the next several weeks. But if not, we might do a Ring Partner site. This is one of them. And this is a statewide Ring Partner site that I built for walk-in bathtubs. And you can see that in the last 30 days, this one's got 143 clicks. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of clicks in 30 days. That's over 4 clicks a day. And that's, and this site is relatively new. I think this site might be maybe 6 weeks old, if that's it. And you can see that, if we go pick up impressions, you'll see it looks like the impressions are actually dropping a little bit. And that could be a bad sign. It could mean that site's on its way down. I mean, and that's possible because that happens with these types of sites. But the thing is I already know that this site build is successful because I've generated income from this already. And those calls pay out $30 per call. And I've generated income from this site. I don't have the exact number on how many calls I've got, but it's only like 6 weeks old, and it's generated me money. And so even if this particular site ends up, if it's on its way down, which means it could be, Google doesn't like it anymore, which happens with these types of sites, I already have all the content saved on a text file. So all I got to do is create another subdomain on this same root domain, and then copy and paste the content and hit the deploy button, and it will build an entire new site targeting the exact same keywords with the exact same content on a new subdomain, which means it will index again and start generating traffic again. So these sites often have a lifespan, but if you've got winners and you know which ones are your winners, then you just rebuild them on new domains or new subdomains, and you'll get the traffic back again until it gets slapped, and then you got to build another one. But so what? It's so easy to do. That's what I like about the ATM, is that I can build, like, once the initial site's built, if all I'm doing is a copy paste job, I can literally deploy a 30,000 page site in under 5 minutes, and that is no bullshit. I can build it and click the deploy button in under 5 minutes, and it takes about anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes for the site to actually build and deploy on the server. But it only takes me 5 minutes of setup time. Okay? The initial setup for these types of sites takes me roughly, if it's a first-time site with keyword research, it'll take me several hours because I spend most of my time doing keyword research. But the actual setup of the content and the site build itself takes me roughly an hour to an hour and a half for the first in a series of keyword sites. And then after that, once I've got some winners identified, like I said, I've done actually 6 sites in 20 minutes before, which was pretty damn good. Okay.
All right, should we roll over the questions? We got about 11
we can
minutes.
go right to questions now.
All right.
What is it?
I'm going to start at the bottom and make sure we didn't miss anything down there. Let's see. Looking good. We answered Phil's question. Caesar's asking, how are you getting impressions when you're in position 200 plus? I guess this was earlier. Does that mean searchers are going that deep in the SERPs?
No.
It must have been when you're looking at the Search Console.
No, it just means that when somebody has done a query, searched for a particular phrase, that somewhere within the results that Google has pulled, my site was displayed. A link to one of the pages on the site has been displayed. Even if it's 300 pages deep, it does 300 in position 300 and something. It doesn't matter, because it just means that Google recognized and served that post or that page for that search query. That's all. That doesn't mean that you're ranking for that, or it just means that it's been given an impression for that search query. However, that's where you can start to identify the ones that, again, if you come over here where it says impressions, let's just open this up. If we click on position, this will show you for the actual keyword search phrase which position the page that was served was shown in. And you can figure out which page was served by clicking that little button right there. And this says that Firefox disabled that. Let me open that up again. And this will show the actual search query when you click on that. And then it will show, here's my site right here, Tennessee walk-in tub conversion kit with door, Loudon, Tennessee. And here's my site ranked right here. Okay? And then that's where, guys, within Search Console, if you want to see which pages, the actual pages were, because this just shows the term and which position you were in. Doesn't show which page it was, but that's when you click on the pages over here, and then if you sort by position, now these are the pages that are ranked. Okay? And again, if you click on that, this will show, that actually just takes you over to the page, and this is just, again, the WP overlay. Anyways, let's move on. What's next?
All right, we got one from Shannon. If you want to scroll up, it's up towards the top, just under the picture.
Which one? There's a lot of pictures.
Sorry, go all the way up top to the video, and it's the first question underneath it. Or rather, the last question, however you want
to. Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's a blast from the past. All right, sorry. Shannon, I posted this in the Facebook group, not related, but kinda with Geo and Silo. Okay, I know this question was discussed in depth in the October 18th mastermind, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but need a little help doing a complex silo. Okay, so this is all right. Doing a complex silo, and I agree. Using the subdomain like Brad was talking about in the mastermind, the problem I am having is I cannot build 450 subdomain sites for each city I am targeting. So I'm going to use the state subdomains with cities, but I'm having the issue that Brad was talking about because the same page category of city. This is not an appropriate question for this group. It's not, Shannon. I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you, but it's too advanced for the masterclass. So this is something that we can discuss again tomorrow, Shannon. We can cover it again tomorrow in the mastermind, but this is a little bit too advanced for masterclass. I don't want to confuse everybody here with getting into an advanced topic like this because it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, Shannon, if you can just post it in the mastermind and tag it as a webinar question, that way, regardless of whether or not you can make it, we'll get to it.
Yeah. Again, just post it in the webinar questions category, and we'll cover it. And that way, even if you're not live on the webinar, you can watch the replay. I will cover it. Again, it's just too advanced for this group. So, all right. So, is there any other questions?
That is it.
Okay.
So guys, we're assuming that the recording will be fine. If not, we'll get the information out about what we were talking about. But we think that the recording went well. So
yeah. Hold on, I want to see that other. Look at this one. That's great. That's awesome, Wayne. But this is a Paul Ashley one, not a Wayne one. I just assumed it was Wayne. That's funny, and Clint does some too. So. Anyways, all right, guys, we'll keep them coming. Thanks for being here. We're going to wrap it up today. Again, we'll see Mastermind members tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. We got a lot to cover. By the way, we're covering outsourcing team setup and scaling. Remember, one of our members requested that we do that, and so tomorrow we're going to have a lesson to begin with, and then we'll do Q&A afterwards, but we're going to talk about scaling an outsourcing team, which I think is pretty important. So,
awesome.
Cool. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.
See ya.
All right, man. Bye.